Ah, shit. This episode of the BRG podcast has been brought to you by our patrons. Here at BRG, we'd like to thank those patrons who have subscribed and donated. It is because of generosity like yours that makes this show possible.
On tonight's special episode of the podcast, we go ahead and do a review of our 2017 predictions and see how poorly we did on everything related to gaming. We did well on the Teledononics. Hey guys, welcome back to a special episode of the BRG podcast. So what's gonna be happening tonight? This is gonna be kind of fun. If you'll remember, for the people who've been around for a while, last year we got most of the people you see here tonight got together and decided to do our best judgment at what was going to happen in 2017. And so we made some predictions. Oh boy, this is going to turn out more. So we're back, and we're going to be trying to figure out if we did well or did poorly on these predictions. So going around the horn real quick, of course, you got myself, WarpedJester. Hi, welcome back. My lovely and beautiful, gorgeous wife, Carolyn.
Hi.
And of course, my beautiful co-host, my beaver-loving Kirrok.
Hello, everyone.
Beaver lover. And then returning to us, the beautiful, the luscious, the also gorgeous Linz.
Hello.
And unfortunately, Tox can't be here tonight. However, standing in, playing the part of Tox is going to be Component Z.
How we doing, guys?
See how well that goes.
I can never fill his shoes.
Never. So like I said, guys, we've done our predictions last year. We're going to follow up on the predictions. We're going to see how well we did. And Kirrok has developed a very complex and strategic point system to give us a value here. And if I remember to, if I have the gumption to and the time to, below me and then below Kirrok, between the cells, I'll try putting little scoreboards up for everybody so we can keep track of how well we're doing here. Not sure how well that will work out, but we'll see how we do on that one. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive into this.
Welcome back, everybody. So, I'm going to start getting into the explanation of the way the show is going to be going. So I'm going to explain, if you were around last year, what we did is we did two predictions each. One was a likely or safe bet prediction, while the second prediction was an unlikely or a stretch prediction, something that most likely wouldn't happen but could potentially happen. So in this episode, we're going to be covering the likely in the first half of the show, and then later on, we're going to be going over
episode? You mean this segment?
In this segment, thank you. So what I'm going to do is cover off the actual prediction rules. The way I kind of laid it out was, if somebody gets their prediction correct, so Warp makes a prediction and it's right, he gets plus 10 points or 10 points. If, on the other hand, Warp gets it incorrect, then he would get a minus 10 points. So he would go down on the scale. And then everyone else was either in agreement and supporting or against that prediction. If you were in agreement and that prediction was correct, then you get a plus 5 points. If you were disagreeing with that prediction and you are and you supported it, then you get minus 5 points. Where it kind of switches or changes is if you disagreed with what that prediction was, then you can get plus 5 points. And if you agreed, and I don't know if that makes sense.
If you're the main prediction person,
yeah,
right plus 10, wrong minus 10.
Right.
If you weren't one of the main people, regardless of what you said, whether you're in agreement or not, if you were right, plus 5. If you were wrong, minus 5.
Right, but if you predicted something happened and I went against that prediction, I can get plus 5.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. If I supported your prediction and it was right,
Jesus
then...
Christ, Kirrok. Doesn't matter whether I agree with you or not. If I was right, I get plus 5. if your prediction was correct and I agree with you, I get +5. Your prediction was wrong and I disagreed with you, I'm still right. I still get +5.
Correct.
If I'm right, +5. If I'm wrong, -5.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we got it.
So it makes sense. Good. So I'm going to get into now. Actually, as it works out, I was the first one to predict in 2017. So we're going to start off with the likely predictions. And the first prediction was, or the one that I made was, Vivendi would buy up Ubisoft. And I was expecting it to spell disaster for the sequel that they kind of announced at E3, which is Beyond Good and Evil 2. So that was the first prediction that I made, and the outcome was that Vivendi did not actually buy out Ubisoft. In fact, there's an article there that shows that I believe Ubisoft is taking steps to try and prevent that by buying their own shares or something like that.
In fact, they're still trying.
Yeah.
They're still trying. So I was incorrect on this particular prediction. And because of that, I get a -10 points.
Dang.
And I reviewed the video from last year, and basically there were 2 people that actually supported this claim. One of them was Lynn's. Hi, Lynn's. So she gets -5 as well. And Warped, you did as well.
Oh, damn.
So you're getting -5. And everyone
Damn it,
else.
Kirok, I trusted you.
Hey, it was likely, right?
It was
so-
very likely.
So in the end, everyone else, no one supported or opposed the claim. So
In my defense, it still could happen.
oh, it could still happen, but it didn't happen. Oh, you mean in the remaining bit of 2017?
Yeah, I mean, just a little inside knowledge here, guys. We're recording this a bit early, so it could happen still.
So you can get all your points back.
Yeah. See how
But
it
the
goes.
key thing is that as of the time of recording this, it didn't.
That's correct.
But the
But
predictions
still,
were
it's
for
a year.
2017.
That is
So
right.
if Vivendi buys them out on the 31st before midnight, technically I'm right.
Yes.
Are
So
we
then
gonna
we
re-record
are we
the
going to
show
do like
just
a
to prove
revisit
that you're
episode?
right?
I might have to. Who knows?
So that was
The January
my
1st
likely-
corrections episode.
Yeah, really. Eh?
So there's our first one. We're already down a total of 20 points. God, we're doing good. Tox, redeem us.
Yeah, so next to predict is Toxic, and standing in for Toxic this year is Component Z. So I'm going to let Component Z go through and read through and see.
Okay, apparently Toxic's prediction was that VR will continue to strive and come of age in 2017. He was wrong.
He was
Very
wrong.
wrong.
So,
The
So I
outcome,
I could explain. So there's actually an article there that kind of talks about VR and how it'll evolve. And the article is a specific one with Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, I believe, indicating that it's still a ways off. So it specifically stated that it'll be at least a decade before it can provide consumers with good VR experience. So it's just starting. He says it will come of age, which to me means it's fully realized, but I don't think that's the case yet.
I absolutely
Yeah.
agree with you, sadly, because it really should have. When you say come of age, you kind of expect it to get its stride and start really moving forward, and it's getting there, but it hasn't ramped up completely.
I was going to ask, Kirk, as a VR gamer, what do you think of that particular prediction? How do you feel as a VR gamer?
It still has to go further. In fact, there are other predictions made further down that we're going to cover that kind of goes into that. I don't want to ruin it. So Toxic got that wrong. That means Toxic got -10 points. And in this case, nobody supported or opposed his claim. So he just got -10 points.
Man, we're doing good. And these are the likely ones.
These are the likely ones, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
There's a reason to watch us every week. We know our stuff.
'Cause
A
we're
ringing
just that
endorsement.
good.
So next to predict in 2017 was actually Lynn's.
Yes, I really
Go-
buggered it up, didn't I?
Go ahead. No. I'll explain. I'll explain the point system once you read this. Go ahead.
So I wanted to talk about Fallout 4 and VR. And I could have just left it at, hey, I don't think it's going to come out in June 2017 when they're predicting that it will be out. And that would have been cool. But I just had to take it a few steps further and say, and by the way, I don't think that they're going to be able to get the full game in VR, and I don't think it's coming out in 2017 at all. So yeah, that was the full bit.
Okay. So in this case, in this prediction, the outcome was, there's actually 2 articles I've linked here. One was from Road to VR, where, well, the game was delayed. So in reality, they went from June to a December release date. So you did get it right. You did predict a delay. You just predicted it not so close into the future.
Yeah.
And further out into the future. The other one is actually an article from Steam that shows the release date that they're shooting for, which is December 12th. So Lynn's prediction was partially correct. That's what I voted, or because I had to decide. I was like, should it, shouldn't it? So instead of giving you a +10 or a -10, I've given you a +5. Now, I guess it's a
Points on the board.
Yeah, we
I'm
got
at 0
positive
now?
points.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not fully correct. It's partially correct. So that's worth something, 0.5. And nobody supported or opposed this claim. Even though I wanted it in VR and the full game had nothing to do with it. We were just predicting that, right? And we also found out that the game is actually full price.
Yes.
Where I was hoping it would be just a paid add-on or something, but whatever. So that's your prediction from 2017, your likely prediction, Lynn's. Moving on, we're going to go into Carowin's prediction, which was a lot more fun.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten about mine. I predicted that VR teledildonics was going to take a foothold and become widespread.
I think we need to consult our professional lens.
Okay. So this is the interesting part. You are actually right.
Interesting.
So there's an article from Engadget that, and this was actually pointed out to me by Linz. Thank you, Linz. There's an article from Engadget that specifically says there's finally a good, I hate to say these words, a good digital masturbator on the market. So Fleshlight Launch is actually the product and what it's called. It's exactly what she predicted, a VR-capable teledildonics device. So it's a device that syncs up to video as well as syncing up to video in VR.
Of course.
Send me a sample, guys, please.
What I want to know is, will it sync with Fitbit?
Get my steps, get my steps, get my steps.
Oh, that's good
Mom, can't talk doing a 15K.
Correct.
Yes.
I like how you have a hard time saying that you do not like saying a digital masturbator, but you will say the word teledildonics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds a little more.
I mean, it's a part of everyday life now. They have,
So plus 10 for Carowin.
Yes.
And
Plus 10 for Carowin, and go ahead.
It looks like everybody actually was on board with this.
Everybody supported this claim, so everyone gets +5.
Yay!
Hot damn! And this just to point here, this means that at present, for all the truly game-related things, we've got it completely fucking wrong for a gaming podcast. But when it came to the porn, we did it right.
Hang on.
well, I mean, we do have a
Bang on
website
is right
called
there, Kirok.
dildomatronics.com. That is us. So, I think we're showing what our expertise is.
Apparently so. Being dicks, I believe, is actually what we're good at, but
By
nevertheless.
the way, the article's a good read. I suggest you read it.
Like Playboy?
You
So-
only read it for the articles?
Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness.
So Capone,
all right.
you know what the difference is between pages in a magazine and pages on the web, right? The pages in a magazine, those get sticky.
Yeah.
They don't come apart after. But it's
Makes
a
for a
lot cheaper
faster
than replacing a
read.
mouse.
All right, guys. So one more
Yeah.
for our
Yeah.
likely predictions here. This is coming from me, and my prediction is that the NX, which was the code for the Switch, will be
Yes.
delayed beyond its March release, and it will sell moderately. It won't be a big hit. It'll be kind of a moderate holdover, maybe enough to get them to the next generation of things.
Sort of a meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Nintendo
the
Switch
outcome?
is gonna be total meh.
Total meh.
And
Were
the
you
envelope
right?
says.
I think we know where this went.
Yeah.
Straight
totally
down the shitter.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, I took all your dumbasses with me.
No, not true.
Uh-oh.
Not true. Not true. So
Oh,
hang
shit.
on. Switch's success has been undeniable, and it's basically met the March release date, and it's sold about, 4.7 million Switches as of July 26th. So there were a bunch of people who supported you, such as Linz, Toxic, and Carowin. But in the video, and if you look back, you can see I was like, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to do well. And I know, one video game, one right. One video game, one right. Come on.
Oh, shit. Well, congratulations to you, asshole.
But remember, we all won with teledildonics.
Yeah, everybody got it.
With Teledildonics, everybody is a winner.
Everyone's a winner.
So that basically concludes the likely predictions for the five of us that were here.
So
in
the halftime
2017.
score is...
So the halftime score is, after adding up all the different points that people have received and been subtracted, Kirok sits at 0 points, so no score. Toxic sits at, or in this case, Component Z, sits at -10.
Woohoo!
And Linz sits at 0, along with Kirok. And Carowin is at +5 points. Meanwhile, Warped is at -10 points. Oh, goodness.
All right, guys, we're going to head to take a quick break here, but we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back for the second half. And again, the second half is going to be the unlikely or stretch predictions. And just to make things interesting, the points are going to be doubled. So anybody who gets the right prediction is going to get a +20. And if they're wrong, it's going to be a -20. And anybody who is supporting that is going to be a +10 or -10, depending on how good they are at predictions. So getting into the thick of it here, again, on the stretch goals. First up is Linz.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's excited.
So, okay. There was this big thing last year about GTA and how people thought that GTA 6 was coming out. Like every month there was a new, oh, Rockstar's going to release GTA 6. And I said, no. This is not going to happen. What's going to happen is they will finally drop that paid DLC for GTA 5 story mode that they have been talking about forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the prediction.
And survey says...
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
I can go over it.
Yep,
Well, the
that's
outcome
you,
is
Kirk.
basically, not only is there not a DLC for story mode, but there's no paid DLC for story mode, but there's no DLC at all. Although you are right in that they are working on one. The article actually shows, or it talks about them working on it, but they had to move a lot of their resources because it's the same studio that's making Red Dead Redemption 2. So they moved a lot of their resources to that, focus on that, which is why we haven't seen anything as of yet. So Linz's prediction is incorrect, and that means you get minus 20 points in this round in the unlikely. Minus 10 points goes to Warp for supporting this claim. Minus 10 points goes to Kirok for supporting this claim. And minus 10 points goes to Carowin for supporting this claim. There you go. And no one else in the group neither opposed or supported the claim itself. So, yeah. And now I'm going to continue because I was the second person in 2017 to make my unlikely prediction. And the prediction I made was the company by the name of Interactive Lifeforms will create a VR-enabled fleshlight. So this is, in this sense, it's the same article we saw earlier in the likely predictions and falls in and around the same scope as what Carowin predicted. So again, this article from Engadget does show the fleshlight launch, which is exactly what I predicted because it is VR capable, even though technically it's capable of doing VR, and they mostly say it's to be used with or a companion with like a video, like a tablet or something like that. So in this case, the prediction I made was correct as a stretch prediction, and it means I get 20 points. Also, plus 10 points goes to Linz for supporting this claim, and plus 10 points goes to Toxic, in this case, Component Z, for supporting this claim as well. And no one else in the group made any support or opposition to it. Why? What?
You said this was going to happen in the likely category, and then you didn't support him.
Apparently not.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of it that way.
I got you. Just kidding.
But essentially, she did it in the likely category. I did it in the unlikely, but we were both right from two different ends. But that was pretty cool.
Good. Actually, 10 points if you agree with him.
It's double-ended.
Wow.
We got it right from both ends. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. So
it good
next
for
to
you?
predict. Oh, my God. It was great. Thanks. Next to predict in 2017 was Toxic, and standing in for Toxic is Component Z. So I'll let him talk about the prediction.
Toxic predicted that Minecraft would go full VR.
As opposed to full retard, because you never go full retard.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. So that prediction is actually accurate. Let me go back to it a second. I lost my placing. So Oculus has Minecraft available now in full VR. It doesn't appear that you require swinging tools to mine, say, minerals or take down trees, which is something that did come up in our discussion. But you can play Minecraft with an Xbox One controller in full virtual reality and have that spatial sensation, and also get sick. I've done it. So Tox was right with this prediction. That means he gets plus 20 points. I actually supported this, so Kirok supported this, and that means I get plus 10 points. And the other person that supported this was also Linz. So Linz gets plus 10 points.
I just supported everything. Sure, that sounds likely. Let's go with that.
And basically, no one else in the panel or talking together opposed or supported this claim. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. It still would have been awesome to be able to just swing, actually swing.
Totally work out all that flabby arm crap.
The wings.
So I actually just so you guys know, I did watch a video where one guy had the new touch controllers on the Oculus, and I was expecting them to swing, but they didn't. They were just using them like controllers.
Aww, VR blue balls.
Down.
Yeah, exactly. Next to predict was Carowin in 2017.
You know, I still think this would be really cool to see them do it. I had made a prediction that the world of warships, tanks, and planes would do a crossover in 2017. I still think that would be really awesome.
Yep. I think it would be.
Okay. So at this point, even though a crossover for the 3 games has not actually happened, so you can go and check each separate website, and they're made by the same company, but they are still very much 3 independent games. You're not alone, Carowin. I was looking at a whole bunch of different forums where people were suggesting and saying, "Hey, can they not cross these over?" So you're not alone with that desire.
Cool.
So unfortunately, your prediction was incorrect.
A lot of people want it, just like you, but you're still wrong.
But you're still wrong. You're not right. So this means that you're getting minus 20 points, Carowin. And Warped was the only person that supported this, which means you are also getting minus 10 points. Nobody else supported or opposed this claim, which is pretty cool.
But to be fair, in this one, even everybody wants it, and they've been touting that they're supposed to get to that point, but
have they really? Because I haven't really kept up with it.
When Warplanes came out, it was supposed. That's when they were talking about. They're like, we're gonna get all 3 out, and then we're gonna combine them afterward.
And granted, this is a little bit pie in the sky. This is a stretch prediction, but I was so hopeful for that because to have. We play World of Ships, for example. Try to play World of Ships and merge it with World of Tanks. That's a little hard to do. You really can't put it. But when you add planes to the mix, and planes was the second thing that came out in the series, it could bridge the two because you can take off from land, deal with tanks on the ground, do dive bomber runs, and you can have a shared experience where she's running an aircraft carrier and I can run some of the squadrons of planes and actually do torpedo runs or dive runs on ships. So I would still love to see it happen, but alas, it is not meant to be. But yet.
That's true.
What is meant to be, however, is my prediction because by God, I'm gonna get one thing right here related to gaming in some way. My prediction, my stretch prediction was that a major VR manufacturer would come out with a wireless headset. And it's not like, the Daydream or, Samsung's.
No. Yes.
We're talking about the legitimate one. And by God, by an ass hair, I won this one.
So both Oculus and HTC Vive have announced wireless headsets. And these are touted as full-fledged VR headsets that do not need a phone and do not need a computer. The Oculus one, I think, is called the Oculus Go, and the Vive, I didn't get the name of it, but essentially they are promoting these as their next headsets in their line. So you'll be able to use full VR and not have to worry about throwing a device into it like that or hooking it up to an expensive computer, which is pretty cool. Good job. Good job, Warped. Yeah, exactly. So Warped's prediction was correct. This means Warped earns 20 plus 20 points. And what was awesome about this is everyone agreed. Lynn's Toxic and Kirok, myself, and Carowin all agreed. So each of us get plus 10 points.
The only thing I can see about a wireless VR headset, it'll be a lot easier to tear down the green screens that you have up in your back.
Because I don't have a wire to tether me back.
Yeah, exactly. Hold me back, man! Hold me back! So that brings us to the end of the stretch predictions and the end of predictions in general. So let's go ahead and roll back here and look over the scores. So coming from the likely predictions, again, at the end of the likely predictions, Kirok was at 0, Tox was at minus 10, Lynn's at 0, Carowin at plus 5, and I was at negative 10. Coming into the straights, total points being doubled for the second half here, Kirok actually got plus 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry for this part. Yeah, plus 3 points.
The unlikely.
Tox got plus 40 points. Ooh. Good job, Tox. Lynn's got plus 10. Good on you, hot stuff. Carowin got minus 20.
Minus 20.
And I got plus 20. So doing the hard maths here, the calculations, the grand total is for tonight, coming in last place, Carolyn with negative 15 points. For second and first place, we've got second place myself at plus 10, tied with Lynn's.
Yeah.
High five! And then tying for first place and taking a shared gold is Kirok and Tox at plus 30 points. Good on you guys.
Cool, yeah.
Congratulations, component
The
Tox.
excitement is so
I gotta say,
overwhelming.
I was expecting a lot worse, to be honest with you, but I think the Teledildonic saved us.
Yeah, it's oddly enough the thing that is not related to video games. Although,
I mean, Kirok, you came up with the score, so you did, you're providing a gift, right? A prize for the winners.
No.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah, he is, actually. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, the winners tonight actually get a gift from Kirok. One free beaver.
I like candles.
A what beaver?
Yes, free beaver.
Zombiever.
Oh God.
Nobody's gonna take that one and run with it, huh?
No.
Nobody. All right, guys. Hey, big thank you for the people joining us tonight. Of course, Lynn's, you've been on a few times here. You are the queen of BRG. You run the show now. You're enamored with candles, so if anybody wants to buy Lynn's gifts, candles apparently are the thing. Just not shaped candles. She said no to that. Just for the record. Between the scenes. Where can people find you, my dear? What are you up to?
It's kind of hard to find me anywhere these days. Don't do YouTube anymore. You can try Twitter, but I don't check it often. But the BRG Discord, I'm always there.
Yep. You're also running the show, taking care of BRG. You've actually wrangled people together for a BRG BYOB night.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did that last weekend. It was pretty good. We played Robot Roller Dildo Derby or whatever that game is. We moved on to some other games. It was an eventful night.
Is it compatible with the Fleshlight launch?
Are you gonna be doing more of that? Hey, what if they could do VR Fleshlight with that genital jousting?
I knew you were going there.
I don't think that's a video anyone would want to watch.
Hey.
Anyways, you'll be doing more of those, yes?
Of them, yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Actually, they happen every weekend. It just so happens that we chose to, share that one and advertise it and kind of put it out there. But we're BRG's together almost every weekend, so.
Good to know. And of course, guys, you can pick up and keep on top of all that stuff going on by checking out the BRG website and going on Discord and yelling at Lynn's whenever you don't see something happening, just so you can get on our case. Because we all love riding Lynn's back.
Or her friend.
Okay.
Hey, Component C, my friend, thank you for joining us. It's been a little while since we've had you on, but I'm glad to have you back here. You, my friend, you are a little more active in the digital realm.
Yes, although I haven't been active on my Twitch lately. Hopefully, after the first of the year, I'll be back with some. I'm gonna try to come back with some classic gaming. I might break out some like some of the Nancy Drew games because they're good, fun, classic point-and-click games. They're
nice,
fun little story games. But I'm also kind of active on Twitter as well, so you can find me Twitch or Twitter at component_Z.
So make sure you guys check him out there. Of course, he's also on the BRG Discord, so you can find him there if you want to chat at him. And I'm going to keep prying this out of you. You do have plans for a couple new shows, actually, potentially coming down the pipe. I know this for a fact because I'm a part of one of them.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to bring up the show until I knew it was okay to bring up that show. We are working on the roundtable, so you're going to see me a lot more often on the roundtable for BRG. And I completely forgot what the other show was.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
One of those shows.
It's so awesome. He's actually just like gone mentally blind from it. So you and Zez are supposed to be rapping about doing a new show together. Details forthcoming as you guys get things fleshed out. But there's new content coming down the pipe, and that's all going to be on the BRG channel. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Is it going to be a PAX South vlog?
Oh,
It's going to PAX South this year. I'm trying to get some more people in this.
I was gonna say that's a good point, Liz, because you and Dano both are gonna be down at PAX, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to get Zez and Capone and Z to come join you.
Right.
So if you guys happen to be going,
the one and only Beaverman will be here for PAX South as well. Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna be a crowd.
A little crowd of BRGers. When is PAX South?
It is January 12th through 14th.
Okay.
3-day pass is $80.
So if you guys happen to be doing the PAX thing, definitely try to keep an eye out for these Scrooges and say hi to them. I'm sure they get an absolute kick out if somebody actually walked up and said, "Hey, I actually watched that God Awful podcast and found you guys." If that happens, get video of it sent to me. I will put it on the fucking podcast. I'll be so gobsmacked. And Linz, while you're down there, if you can make sure to get the details about what we need to do to reserve a stage, because me and Kirok are gonna at some point be on stage for this podcast. So I just want to get the numbers rolling.
I'll see
now.
If they're planning on opening up a teledildonics division.
Hey, we'll have you on. We'll have you on for certain.
I'll bring the virtual headset.
And of course, last but not least, my loving wife. I love you, my dear.
I love you too, my darling.
Doing anything exciting online?
No.
Just dealing with life and kids.
Yeah.
My wife has been by my side doing the renovation we've been doing on the house. So I gotta give her props for that. She has been super, super helpful. She's been my absolute motivation through everything. But yeah, she's kind of like me in the fact that with 4 kids, you don't oftentimes get a lot of time to actually game.
You know what? I've given it a lot of thought, though. And they say it's the thought that counts.
Oh, but Carolyn, you do mobile games, right?
Yeah.
The Talos Principle came out for Android and iOS.
Okay.
You're right.
I will have to check that out.
There you
go.
Thanks for the heads up.
Good one, too.
That's not the face of something I want to check out, is it?
You're never really sure with this group. Wait, is that a legitimate recommendation? Or am I gonna go, oh my god?
No, yeah, it is. It was actually a really great game on PC, and I just heard that it's coming out on mobile. So.
Oh, there you go. Also, not anything to do with gaming, but I am going to be running a half marathon.
We'll have run a marathon.
Right, we'll have run.
Time dilation is a very strange thing.
Oh my gosh. So yeah.
Yeah, you've
totally
actually been active
though.
in going out and doing running now.
Yeah.
So good on you for that.
But the reason why my brain ticked in on it is there's going to be a digital component to somehow where people can actually watch my progress online.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Nifty.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Cool.
Like for reals and actually.
You see her running into the restaurant, sitting for a little while, running back.
No, because nothing's going to be open at 5 a.m.
Anyways, Kirok, my friend, my buddy, my pal.
Yeah.
On the quick and dirty. You've got a YouTube channel that actually has content on it.
Yeah.
Shock of shocks on that one.
I have some VR stuff on there too now. From the last time you looked.
Oh, yeah. I have to check that out, actually. That'd be kind of interesting. You've got your Twitch channel going.
Yeah.
And you've got Project Singularity. And you've got Hop Along Games.
Oh, by the way, my other 2 cohorts in Hopalong Games are currently, this will give away the time that we're recording this. But I'm going to say it anyways. They're at BlizzCon now. Yeah, they are down there. And I was watching some of it today. It's pretty awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of things going on.
They promised me they're going to bring video back. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I have a lot of things going on.
So you got a lot of shit going on. And on top of that, you're doing a bunch of new stuff for this podcast, for RT Bits and commercials and whatnot. So that's kind of keeping you busy.
just a tiny.
KirrokCraft's doing a lot for BRG as of late. We appreciate it, and if you guys appreciate that, definitely encourage you guys to check out BRG whenever you get a chance. We do have a website, which is ballrockgaming.com. The biggest, most functional use of that site is currently where we have events posted, so you'll be able to see what events are going on. Currently for December, we have a free view event going on. And that will be following up with hopefully something else in January. I do like doing the free view events. I'll try to have something else planned and running for January. We also have Discord. So go to Discord, look at Ballrock Gaming. You'll find us there. Again, best way to get a hold of us is to go do the Discord thing. That's where we tend to chatter a lot. We've got, main posts and looking for group and shit posting and all the good stuff. So definitely check us out there. And if you guys do enjoy this, as always, we do encourage you to hit the love button and subscribe. Let us know what you think of the show. We do have also a companion Twitch channel. So if you go over to Twitch and look at Ballrock Gaming, you can find us there. We actually do content Monday through Friday on there. We also do some special event type stuff on there as well. So definitely make sure you're connected. If we're not actually streaming direct, and we usually have a bunch of people from BRG that we're hosting. So you can always find something cool and fun there to check out. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. And of course, last but not least, guys, we always certainly do love a little help and a little love. And if you want to do the lazy laid back way, we do have a Patreon account where you can actually donate a few dollars to the fund. That helps us out, and that is all money that goes back into the community to help us out with doing things like doing fun giveaways or helping somebody out with the game so they can play with us, things like that. So we do appreciate that very much. So thank you very much, and thank you to everybody tonight for the predictions. This was this was a tickle. I loved it. And I am going to be looking forward to the 2018 predictions, which we'll have some of you guys back on for. And we'll see how badly we do next year. Hot damn! All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking through this with us. Have yourselves a great night. We will catch you next week. Bye.
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 Bye.